one of the biggest moments in the history of federal Indian policy, actually, in the United States. And then on June 29th, not necessarily related to Native people, but certainly impacting us. Elena, you wanted to talk about the other very significant SCOTUS decision of June 2023.
Yeah, so that was June 29th. SCOTUS struck down affirmative action in college admissions. And that, to me was painful because so much, when I was growing up and, I had the privilege of being raised by two college graduates. My father had a PhD. Education was really important in our family. And I was schooled by my father on, why affirmative action was important and why it was crucial for, particularly for Native students. And it was if you don't know the background on SCOTUS, but it was a lawsuit filed by Students for Fair Admissions against Harvard and against University of North Carolina because they said that it was racist. So trying to create and maintain a diversity of students in universities was racist. And I remember the 1978 fight. I forget, but it was the University of California. And we were in California at the time. My father was on sabbatical. And so that was going on. It was raging. And I had a conversation about this. And even as young as I was, the way it was explained to me is due to settler colonialism, Native people are in a deficit situation from the get-go. Schools, education, the benefits that are accorded to other students, not people of color. There needs to be an evening of the playing field, a leveling of the playing field, and affirmative action was that leveling. And now essentially what SCOTUS is saying is that it doesn't matter that you don't have the same privileges as people who go to private prep schools on the East Coast. That doesn't matter. Is a class issue, and why we should not, I think that's kind of a no-brainer. It's a class issue, more so than fucking Clarence Thomas, who agreed with, just class race traitor. That's what I'm trying to say. It just blows my mind that the opinion was that affirmative action did constitute a racist element, and that's why they struck it down, when literally everything else this Supreme Court has done has been based on racist politics. And I don't even know what to say other than also I'm getting tired and my brain is stopped working. But we're not addressing the pervasive racial issues in this country. All we're doing is turning around and saying, oh, well, the Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves, so everybody should be happy and everything should be fine. And Native people have reservations and they're given health care and blah, blah, blah. So everything should be fine. The pervasive racism in this country, which guarantees that people of color are going to have less privileges and fewer opportunities, and that we don't level the playing field in order to create an atmosphere of inclusion. And that's a super freaking liberal word, but inclusion and diversity in our schools is a crime. And I am not a huge fan of any of these schools. I mean, I don't understand why a Native person would want to go to Harvard. Honestly, they have our ancestors in their museums, and that freaks the shit out of me. And I think it freaks the shit out of a lot of Diné people too. But we won't have the Elizabeth Cook Lynns. We won't have the Alfonso Ortizes. We won't have the Vine Delorias unless they have the opportunities to be part of academia, and the Ned Blackhawks be part of academia and change academia for the better. So the fact that they struck it down is just another blow, another racist, classist blow by the racist, classist Supreme Court to keep everybody in their place.